Testing, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Ringo TV reactions. Breaking news. Nolan Wells autopsy results revealed, guys. So, top of the morning, 10:15 a.m. I'm probably a little late to the party, but nonetheless, guys, we're going to pretty much get this thing going. I got the chat pretty much open up for subscribers only, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty and get to the point of what's going on with this autopsy. This is pretty much a live stream, guys. Pretty much nothing really set up. I'm just going live just to get right down to the point while the action is pretty much hot. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is pretty much going on live right now. So I got to control this because it's being featured on another platform. So I'm just going to plan to play the tape and we're going to see where this thing goes. So this is Ringo TV reactions, live commentary. Let's go.
For the media at press@bencrump.com. And so, Mr. Jones, keep that. I don't need this one. I just need this one here.
Let me know if you guys can hear it with a 1 in the chat.
So, Dr. Roger Mitchell, board-certified forensic pathologist, performed a preliminary report on the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19th, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation.
See, that's a problem right there, guys. Major problem. We waited for these autopsy results. And when it says, what was the cause of the death? Oh, pending investigation. Come on, man. They're playing games with us, guys. They're playing games.
We'll explain that as we go through the report this morning. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells. Age, 18 years old. Race, black. Gender, male. Date of death, unknown.
Do you see how they lied? Do you see how they lied? They said black. They did not say Filipino. Do you see that, guys? With all the work that I've done, you would think that this attorney would get it right. But no, they're still lying to us. They're still lying, guys.
Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings.
What did they find?
And this is significant.
Okay, let's get it.
Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time.
Unknown? So we waste everybody's money doing an investigation, but it's unknown. Because I already told you guys that Nolan, in my opinion, died by a freak accident. So if there's anything in the back of the head or whatever the case is, it could be him getting hit by a boat, falling and hitting his head. Something happened, right? But to go through this whole investigation, guys, and they're still playing games. They didn't even get to the point of, okay, what was the cause of the death? They still didn't tell you that straightforward. And the first autopsy that was done, we still don't got that. So what kind of game they playing?
He said the body was received after the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decompensation. He said coronal incision of the scalp.
Also, to what is that, Selma? You said it was said he was beaten. That's a lie. You're listening to YouTube gossip, right? We got to stop listening to gossip, guys. There's no video. There is no audio. There is no information nowhere. You understand? Not even Ben Crump and the family said that. So whoever and wherever you got that from is called gossip from YouTube or whatever social media platform you got that mess from. Let's get back to the content.
Brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso. And he talked about the organs being removed as is common.
Notice the people in the audience when he said the organs was removed. Everybody's screaming in shock. See, this is a problem with the black community. You guys got to understand that when they do autopsies, the organs is always removed. So what are you so shocked about? The person is dead. They're not feeling anything. That's common practice, right? Let's get back to the content.
Accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they're dissected and examined.
Right.
And then they're put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them.
Just in case somebody else had to examine the body again, sometimes that happens as well. So being that Nolan's body was already examined, right? And this was an independent autopsy. The first autopsy, they had first dibs at the body. So you never know what they did. Now, remember, in the case of Ashley Janae, remember they had an autopsy that was done, and then the family claimed that they had an independent autopsy. And notice this, guys, even till today, Ashley Janae's parents still haven't given us the autopsy results. Notice that. Till today, we still didn't get the results. Let's get back to the content.
But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity so the second pathologist could be able to examine the organs as well.
Right.
Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior...
Can you hear his volume loud enough, guys? Is my voice louder than theirs? If anything, just let me know so I can raise up his volume, because I have it at the highest peak. I would have to use the software to enhance it to get it even louder than, so it could reach my level of my voice. Let's go.
Inner neck structures were absent, not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute. And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy, and we'll go into the paragraphs on that there because he explains it better in his narrative.
Is that better?
Where's the first?
I put the volume up on his end.
Of the discussion, not the diagram yet. You can keep the diagram over there.
On various other YouTube channels, the audio is on the left side of headphones or left side of the speaker. On my platform, I have it set so it's pretty much equal and balanced in stereo. Make sure you guys hit the like button at the same time.
He talks in the preliminary discussion opinion. This forensic pathologist.
Hold on, let me get this ad out the way. Let that ad go by. Remember, I'm streaming from another platform. Let's go.
Create barriers to establishing a definitive cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's important. He talks about the fact that we didn't get to see the body when it was first recovered, like the medical examiner working for Mississippi would have seen it. He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can.
I think that they should have had the actual person that performed the autopsy. I think that person should have been there to present this. I find it rather suspicious that we're not, I guess, getting a presentation that is a little more professional. I don't think that the attorney should be presenting this info because it come across as if though it was fabricated or put together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's what it was, but I would be more inclined to listen to the one who performed the autopsy because they'll be able to explain these things so that the listeners can understand the language behind it. Right? Let's go.
Obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination. What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July.
Now, let's talk for a little bit, guys. He's talking about bruises. So in his mind, he's trying to imply that there's a possibility that Nolan was beaten up. Is that what he's trying to say? Because again, where's the first autopsy? Where's the first autopsy, guys? You don't find it strange that the first autopsy that they said was performed, right? Where's that autopsy? Why are we getting the second autopsy and not the first autopsy? This is why I'm doing this live, because we got to debunk all the lies that are being put out. Where is the first autopsy? That is what we need to see. We need to hear that first because they had the body first, right? So we should hear that one first and then balance it out to see what this autopsy is. We shouldn't be listening to the second autopsy first. It should be the first autopsy. Then we can listen to the second and see, okay, it balanced out. It seemed like it's the same because it's not making sense.
For these reasons, additional dissection procedures not performed during the first autopsy examination were performed to rule out potential blunt force injuries responsible for the death. These procedures included facial dissection, posterior head and neck dissection, dissection of the ribs, the pelvic, dissection of the subcutaneous and deep soft tissue.
Is this guy an attorney because he can't read? Like seriously. Listen, guys, with all the money that family received, over $800,000, Tyler Perry paid for the funeral, Colin Kaepernick paid for this and that, we should be listening to the one who performed the autopsy. I think that this is sloppy. I think that they rushed this thing and they know that the public been asking for, where is the autopsy? You guys went through a funeral service. You did all of this stuff, making all this noise. So I feel like they rushed this because where's the first autopsy? We should be getting the first autopsy. This guy he can't read. He shouldn't be doing this job. This is the job of the one that performed it because they would be able to read properly and put this together. You could tell that they printed this paper up and put this thing on this sign here. He can't even see it, guys. He can't. He didn't even have a practice presentation. This is his first time actually reading this stuff to the public. This is a shame.
Dissection of the back, the buttocks, the arms, and legs. He did all of this to rule out things. He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent, because transparency is the key to getting to the answers of why Nolan Wells is not with us. So he did that there and was very straightforward, very open, very open.
Up to now, we ain't get nothing. I'm trying to play the tapes, guys. At the same time, I got to give this thing play-by-play commentary. I didn't hear nothing yet that can show if Nolan Wells was unalive by somebody. I ain't get nothing yet.
He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8 inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And
see, this is a problem, guys. I really think that Ben Crump and his team is doing a horrible job right now, because with all the money that family raised, you should have the medical person who did and performed this autopsy, they should be paid to present this to the public, because they would be able to talk very clear because they understand their job. This man should not be doing this right now. It's slowing the process down. And if by the way he's explaining it, it can come across as if though, oh, Nolan was hitting back of the head with a baseball bat, because the medical guy would be able to explain what this means, because that could be an incision that was made. Remember, they take out the brain, they take out organs, they do all sorts of stuff. So if we didn't get the first autopsy, right, then you won't understand the second autopsy. That's like, Friday the 13th, you didn't watch part 1, but you're watching part 2. That don't make no sense. You got to watch part 1 first. That way you'll understand part 2.
he talked about how he found red discoloration when he cut open into the back of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head?
Again, we need a professional that can explain this in layman's terms for the public. Because remember, there was already an autopsy done. So the body was already tampered with by the first person who performed the autopsy. He's explaining it, and he's adding racial issues to it too. You got to understand what Crump is doing. He's trying to create a narrative while explaining, like if Nolan was hitting back of the head with a club. That's what he's doing, guys. You got to pay attention to how he's wording this stuff. This is why you need the professionals to do their job, because they'll be able to explain it better without putting any sort of a spin on the information. They'll keep it professional.
And so he was important to note that in his report. He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to the body,
See, we need somebody that's explaining these words. He's saying words that probably nobody understands. This is why this is sloppy work, guys. You gotta agree. This is sloppy work on Ben Crump. They should have the person who performed this do their job and explain it so the public can understand. He shouldn't be doing this job right now, guys.
Both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding...
You're right, at Messi Machone. He wants the spotlight. You're right. Crump always wants the spotlight. With all the money he got, he could have paid the medical examiner, look, we need you to come down. We're going to have a live press conference. We're going to be sharing this with the public. We need you to explain this thing in clear detail for the viewers to understand what's going on. But no, he want to grab the mic so he can rap. He want the clout.
However, it's significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation, move this back here. Another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures. The trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone were not received with the body. So
he said some parts was not received with the body. Again, if we don't got the first autopsy, guys, we won't understand the second autopsy. This is sloppy work. This is sloppy, guys. Crump and all his team supposed to be getting the first autopsy. But again, because they made it a race issue, remember, they don't trust Mississippi. So they don't even want to hear. First of all, this is what I believe, guys. I believe that they may have gotten the results already. But the family didn't release it. They don't want to release it. You get it? I believe they got the first results and they didn't like what it said. Because why would you want a second autopsy if you didn't hear the first? That don't make no sense. Why would you just say, well, I don't trust Mississippi. They're all racist. We're going to do our own. That's crazy. You would want the first because they tampered with the body first. Just like when what's this chick, Ashley Janae, when she got killed, right? And Zanzibar and them did the first autopsy. I was like, look, if the family's gonna do another autopsy independent, they need to find out what the first autopsy was. Nothing was released to the public. Up to now, 2 autopsies was done, and we still don't know what was going on with Ashley Janae. And now you got this crazy situation here where the first autopsy was done and we still don't got the results of that. But now Crump want to read, the second independent autopsy. If Colin Kaepernick paid for all of this, guys, where's the results? It seemed like they're just trying to hype people up. And now that the funeral is over and people want answers, they're trying to give you this poor quality presentation.
He's saying that the throat was not received with the body when he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy.
So his throat was not with the body. And you wondering why it was a closed casket. Because it was a mess, guys. A mess. They couldn't even show the body.
And so let's discuss that with what he said about that. He said, it is assumed that the initial pathologist retained these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures.
You're right. This looked like a damn ritual. Look how that man is standing there. You got Crump reading all this mess. You got all this stuff with skulls and all this skull and bones and all this other mess. Guys, this is not Crump's expertise. Somebody else is supposed to present this to the public, not him. This is destroying everything they're trying to do. And it's confusing people. And now you're going to have all of these race hustlers all over YouTube. They're going to now be making a bunch of videos, distorting all this information. Watch and see. You're going to have a lot of black commentators that's going to come online and they're going to run and create all sorts of crazy, weird narratives with these clips. This is what they're going to do, and it's just sick. Let's get to the content. Hit the like button.
An initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. he was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C., and he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation.
Well, that's your fault, Crump, because you guys are supposed to be working with the first medical examiner. You guys are sloppy right now. This is a mess. This is a horrible job. Horrible. And now there's going to be a lot of public outrage on the fact that you turn this thing into a race issue, right? You don't trust Mississippi. You don't trust the first medical examiner. You don't trust nobody. You're supposed to be working together. Just like when you're on a 9-to-5, you're supposed to be a team player. But no, you think everybody's trying to cover something up. You think all these medical examiners got time for that? Oh, we're going to try to cover it up. No. You got to work with other professionals, just like when you're working with a doctor. If you go to the first doctor, he got to give the second doctor all the information about what they did to your body so the next doctor know what kind of medication to give the patient. You know, that's how it works. You don't just go get a second opinion and you don't get the information from the first doctor. This is sloppy work, man. All of this is a mess.
Remember, it's about transparency. Because the initial autopsy rightfully removed and dissected each organ, there are additional limitations inherent in the second autopsy of Nolan Wells. The most significant of the limitations was the inability to directly observe the airway and the lungs for water and directly observe the stomach for gastric contents. He said it is very significant as to what the initial forensic scientists who got to review the body when it was recovered.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Get to the point, Crump, because you were the same one who was accusing, why did the body wash up to the shore on this particular day? Basically, they were saying that Nolan didn't really drown, right? It appears that somebody threw his body into the ocean. That's what they were trying to imply. Get to the point. Did the autopsy say that he drowned pretty much on July 4th, that the body was in there and it was literally waterlogged with water? What's the results? That's what we want to know.
We have heard from our call center people saying the body wasn't waterlogged. Well, we need to know those things. But unfortunately, because the body was decomposed and the organs have already been dissected, those are things we can only get from the initial autopsy. So therefore, again, the manner and cause of death is undetermined until further investigation.
He's gaslighting us, man. He's playing games. He's playing games, guys. He's been prolonging this thing for the longest. People been asking for the autopsy. Oh, we're going to give it. You know, he's supposed to have the autopsy, I believe, on July 10th. I believe the autopsy was supposed to be presented, and they pushed it back. So they've been stalling because they already knew this already, guys. They wanted to get past the funeral so they could do this presentation, and now they're embarrassing themselves. This is sad.
We are hopeful that the Mississippi Medical Examiner would give Dr. Mitchell an opportunity.
Dr. Mitchell should be there presenting this information, not you, Crump. You're embarrassing yourself and you're making a disgrace of the family with this presentation. We need the doctor to be up there to present this because he would know how to pronounce words and he would explain the words and clarify everything so all the listeners could be educated on how this process works and what is needed. Right? Let's go.
See their photographs and their observations to the condition of Nolan Wells' body closer in time to July 4th. That is very important. And we have...
Oh my goodness, man. I know that just bust somebody's eardrums open, these damn ads. Let me get back to it. My apologies.
In addition, the original toxicology...
If you think you jumped, I jumped. I got headphones on. Let's go.
Results have not been received at the time of this report. And we continue to wait for the toxicology to come back because, again, that will be part of the investigation.
We want to know, was Nolan drinking? Right? Because I said this in all my videos. Because they made this thing a race issue as if though Nolan's friends killed him because they are white. And that's what a lot of black YouTubers are doing. They're going around saying, oh, the white man did it. The white man did it. And we don't even got no proof on what happened because nobody gave us an autopsy. We want to know, was he drinking? Why is it taking so long for this information to be presented? You know? And the longer you take, the more problems you're going to have. The first medical examiner that did the first autopsy should already have that results, toxicology tests, all these tests should already be here. He died on what? The 4th, right, of July. Okay, it's the 22nd. Where's the results? What's the game we playing here? Stop playing.
Into Nolan Wells' autopsy by Dr. Mitchell. It is significant to note that it's many things that go into toxicology that only Dr. Mitchell would be able to opine upon, and medical experts can opine upon. And he feels the proper place to do that is before a grand jury in a courtroom. And so we would hope that the district attorney would present Dr. Mitchell before the grand jury as well.
Do you see how he's hyping everything up? He's trying to get black people hyped up, guys, to put you back to sleep. He's trying to hype things up. The doctor should be presenting this information, not this guy. I don't trust this guy. Like, I don't trust this man. I don't like it because he can word things in a way where he can confuse people to make them think that there was some sort of foul play, to keep them believing that we need to ride with Nolan's family because, you know, the white man took him out, or a Klans member, or some sundown town. You know how they always try to make it a race issue. I don't like when this guy is explaining it. We need the doctor to come in and explain this information so that the people can understand.
We want all relevant information to be heard by the grand jury. Lastly, in cases where a death has...
And why is he talking about grand jury? What are we talking about? Who's the suspects? Who killed them? Because it seemed like you guys are on a witch hunt trying to put some kids behind bars for no reason. It don't make no sense. He's talking like somebody been arrested and charged and we know who did it, and they're just making stuff up as they go. This is crazy.
Occurred in or around a body of water.
This is sad, man. He got all these papers all over the place. It's just a mess, man. They didn't think this over. They did not think this over, guys.
Lastly, In cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water. This is the crux of the matter.
Do you see this, guys? This is why he's not supposed to be doing this. He should not be explaining this. He's spinning a narrative, guys. He's spinning a narrative right in front of you. I don't like the way this thing is set up. I really don't like the way this is set up here, guys.
This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim. As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells.
Oh boy, he does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. Imagine that, guys. We waited all this time for this guy to give us fluff. Ain't that something?
He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious.
Do you see that? Do you see that, guys? He didn't know if he was conscious or unconscious. So what they're trying to do here, put more suspicions in so that you can now go out there and spin narratives. And this is what you're going to get from these black YouTubers. They're going to go out here and they're going to say, well, they unalived Nolan. He was already knocked out. They already killed him. And then they threw him in the water. That's what they're going to say. They're going to spin that all over the place.
When he entered the water, he said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand.
Do you see how he's shaping this new narrative, guys? He's trying to shape your thinking. Be very careful with how you listen to stuff, guys. Because again, he is not the one that performed this autopsy. So he don't even know. This is not his field, guys. He's an attorney. This is not his field. Watch how he's presenting this thing.
He's saying based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant.
Do you see that? He can't rule out foul play. Do you see that? You have to think about how he's saying these things, guys.
With the following questions still outstanding, number one, what were the circumstances that led to Nolan Xavier Wells entering the water? Number two, what was the body position when it was found? We know that a member of the United Cajun Navy said that he was face down and he was fully clothed. Number three, where's there water?
Notice he said face down and fully clothed. Okay, explain what fully clothed mean, because it can be misinterpreted. Because remember, they were on boats. He was wearing shorts, swim trunks, right? So he need to explain that properly. When you say fully clothed, wearing swim trunks, that's it. Because when you say fully clothed, it can come across the wrong way, like he had on a sweater and a shirt and this and pants and shoes. You got to explain these things, man. He don't know what he's doing, man.
In the airway. Remember, he talked about the lungs and the airways where they fill with water.
Okay, get to the point.
Number 4, is there any evidence of injuries to the anterior neck structure? We got the autopsy without his neck. We got the body without his neck at the time of the second autopsy.
They got the body without the neck, guys. So basically, Nolan was delivered to them in pieces. Did you just get that, guys? No neck? But Colin Kaepernick paid for this, right? Yeah, okay. Guys, this is a mess.
Number 5, is there any evidence of any intracranial hemorrhaging? He said that is going to be very significant. Things that he could not observe at autopsy that the initial medical examiner would have been able to observe.
Now notice, he just used another big word. I don't know what the heck that is, you know? And I'm sure most of you don't. Somebody need to be explaining these medical terms so we can understand what's going on. Because he just spoke another language that the viewer don't know what's going on. This is why I keep saying the right person need to be there presenting this information to the public, not him.
Number 6 was the composition of the stomach contents. He talks about that being important because when was he found? How long had he been in the water? How long had it been since his last meal? All those things become relevant factors when you're trying to do a thorough and impartial.
Let me let this ad go by. I caught it right in time before it broke everybody's eardrums.
Toxicology report findings. He said the best classification again for the cause and manner of death for Nolan.
I want you guys to pay attention to that guy standing there throwing up the Masonic symbols. I want you guys to pay close attention, guys. Look at his hands. Do you see that, guys? Do you see that? Do you see this? You going to tell me this is not a ritual? You going to tell me this guy's not throwing up the Masonic pyramids, guys? You going to tell me he's not doing the Freemason hand signs? Why is he doing that? Why is the camera centered? You can't see this, guys? I don't know, man. This is just getting more darker, man. Let's get back to it, guy. I'm going to have to talk about that another time.
Xavier Wells is undetermined pending investigation. This forensic pathologist reserves the right to review and incorporate additional forensic pathology information into his opinion as it becomes available.
He's still throwing up the hand signs, guys, right in our faces.
Says the above
Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button.
Opinions are expressed to a reasonable degree of medical certainty. Dr. Roger A. Mitchell, July 19, 2026. And we know that, as I said, this is only another part of the puzzle. And even though it tells us
nothing, Crump. Up to now, we don't got nothing. You wasting everybody's time. The people want to know what happened to Nolan. You should be able to give us the facts. We didn't hear nothing yet. And where is the first autopsy? That's the autopsy I want to hear. Because this is just a waste of money. Colin Kaepernick, if you're listening, you waste your money. You waste your money, sir.
Significant information. We still have more questions than we have answers at this time. And we will continue to press forward and persist, Christine and Elmore, with getting the answers to these questions. Because yes, we will persist, because as Christine and Elmore and Attorney Parker and I talked this morning, we know that there are so many conflicting stories.
So hold up. Wait a minute. So that's it? That's it, Mr. Crump? Please don't tell me that that's it. There got to be more to this. Let's play the tape.
The fact that she said him being found face down. The fact that we have other videos where people who have called said that is Nolan, who is in some kind of dispute with others. We're looking at all of these things. The fact that...
Do you see what he just did? He said that Nolan was in a dispute with others. That's a lie. That's called internet gossip. He's listening to those YouTubers that have been posting a bunch of lies. As a viewer, be very careful what you watch on social media. A lot of these influencers are lying to you every day to make money. They don't care about Nolan. They don't care about the case. They don't care about facts. They'll lie to you to keep you engaged. That's what they do daily. And Crump is talking about the gossip that is going on social media. None of this is facts.
GPS tracking of the boat is being questioned by many.
Willie D Live is the worst YouTuber ever. That man lies to your face. He lies every single time he posts a video. I don't even know why people watch his videos, guys, because he's lying every single day, every day.
We're trying to dot every I and cross every T because we understand that.
Understand what?
When our children's lives are at stake.
Do you see what he's doing? He's psychologically playing with your mind to program you. He's talking about our children. This is about Nolan. This is about Nolan. It's not about our children. So stop doing that.
It matters. Not just what happened, but what we do in the aftermath of them being taken away from us. And just like the NAACP stood up.
This is what this is about, guys. It's designed to promote the NAACP. That's what they're doing. This is all promotion, guys. You see it all in the background. That's what this is for. It's promotion. It's promotion.
When another tragedy in Mississippi taking the life of young Emmett Till, we will stand up for Nolan Wells. Just like the NAACP and civil rights leaders stood up.
Listen, I don't trust Crump. He's a race hustler. He's always peddling rage bait. And the only time he come online or show himself in the public is when he feel he can divide the nation and cause race wars. That's his job, guys. I'm telling you. This man never come out for black on black crime. This man never spoke about the Akin Liverpool case, another black man that was with his buddies on a boat and he ended up drowning and dying. And up to now, Ben Crump ain't talking about it or Al Sharpton. But yet they want to offer up a so-called $100,000 reward. And they did this all at Nolan's funeral. They turned Nolan's funeral into a pep rally. That's what they did. We ain't even see his family talk in terms of the kids, cousins, aunties. It's like nobody else is in that family. Nobody loved Nolan enough to get up there and speak on behalf of Nolan. What kind of sick funeral was that, guys? It was like a ritual. It was the same type of atmosphere like the rapper Takeoff's funeral. The same type of momentum. It was just the same. Everybody was dressed in black and blue suits. And it was just like creepy and Masonic. This is crazy.
When another Mississippi son was taken in Medgar Evers, we will stand up for Nolan Wells. And just like too many of our young people, Trayvon Martin.
Do you see what he's doing? He's rage baiting you guys. You can't see? This is why I cannot stand these folks, bro. All they do is rage bait. Why are we talking about Trayvon Martin, guys? Why? It's to remind so-called Negroes of the past so they could get mad with white people. This is what they do on YouTube all the time.
Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor.
Do you see that? Race hustling.
Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Crutcher, Stephon Clark.
Guys, this is toxic. This man is disgusting. Imagine you reminding black people of all the so-called blacks who was unalive or died due to some encounter with white people. But you never see Crump talking about black on black crime in the projects. Never. But he's quick to remind you of crime stories that happened in the past that shocked the black community. That's what he's doing. He's rage baiting.
Sandra Bland, Atiana Jefferson, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, the young people who I was trying to focus on. Gary, we stand up until we get the truth, until we get justice for Nolan Wells.
This man is wasting everybody's time. Like literally. He just read this autopsy and there is nothing, guys. Nothing. 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 No proof. No information. Nothing. But they still trying to race hustle and rage bait. You know? Absolutely sick. Let's go.
Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells.
This is laughable at this point, guys. For him to even be saying justice for Nolan Wells with no information, justice for what? What's the bottom line? Because his team and the internet been accusing white people of killing this kid. And this autopsy revealed nothing. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. Is this what Colin Kaepernick paid for? Man, how much did it cost? Because this is sad. Justice for Nolan Wells? What justice? What? You're saying justice as if though somebody did something to him. But there's no proof because the autopsy don't say nothing. So why are you crying out justice when no crime been committed? That's crazy.
Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells.
And see, this is why the black community is always getting played. Because you guys fall for this okie doke all the time. You guys are literally chanting justice for Nolan Wells when he just gave you an autopsy with nothing, no results. You guys still don't know how this kid died. Nothing was presented to us. And you're screaming justice for Nolan Wells as if though somebody killed him. This young kid died by a freak accident, guys, and I'm going to keep telling you that over and over. He probably was hit by a boat. You had a lot of boats that was out there, a lot of kids, a lot of people. They were drinking and smoking. We need that toxicology test. We need a real autopsy, you know? And based on this information, the first autopsy is what we need. We need that. So I don't know who's controlling the autopsy results, but we need the first autopsy. If they did this second autopsy and got the results in, the first autopsy should already be done, guys. Where is it? Who's holding it back? Why? They holding it from the public. I thought we're talking about transparency. Where's the transparency? Why they not delivering?
We were asked if Christine and Elmore and President Johnson can come back and join us on the stage. And Trevon, we will have you coordinate questions and answers for us or President Johnson or Attorney Park and I. I will say this, as President Johnson comes to the stage, I was sharing this with him and Chairman Russell, Christine Clark. God knows we wish we had you at the Department of Justice now. Christine Clark. As I was sharing with President Johnson and Reverend Al and others, this is so important that we continue to talk about Nolan Wells and what happened to him, and that we get attention on him because in getting
You see that? Get attention on him, but they never told us what happened to him. They just want attention on him so they could continue to make the money. Guys, I do not trust Nolan Wells' family. I said this many times, many times. I don't trust them. They're focusing on attention, money. That's all. That's all I'm seeing. This autopsy results was crap. Nothing was in it. But yet these white boys of these friends of Nolan are being harassed all over social media by black content creators who are putting out photos, accusing them when there's no results that point to any foul play. That needs to stop. Stop falsely accusing people when you don't have no results. Let's go.
Attention on him, it brings attention, Cliff Jones, to other cases that are not getting their attention as of yet. But
cases that's not getting attention? What about a Ken Liverpool, Crump? What about that black man that drowning? What about him? Where's his attention? You guys used Nolan Wells and flooded the airwaves with that to the point where so many other black and white people died and they didn't get no justice. You know why? Because you've been race baiting the country the whole time. You've been out here planting all this negativity, all these bad seeds, and this family been getting rich overnight. They don't care about their own son. I did not see Nolan Wells' mama cry not one time. She'd been making up her face being all emotional, and she haven't cried yet. I didn't see the so-called stepdaddy not one time cry. During that entire funeral, I didn't hear that man say, oh, I love my son. I could, when the day he was born, my son, he never even acknowledged that. They ain't show no photos of Nolan when he was a baby. You know why? Because that man is the stepdaddy, but they put him in front of these cameras and presented him as if though he's Nolan Wells' biological father, making us believe that Nolan is a so-called African-American kid when really he's a so-called Filipino, just like his mama. His mother is Filipino. She's not an African-American woman. And don't tell me, why does this matter? That shouldn't matter. A kid lost his life. Yeah, a kid lost his life. But you got to understand what the news media and what these people are presenting to the public. They're using the race card, guys. They're using the plight of black Americans, right? In order to make this family rich. And in the process, everybody's getting paid. Think about all the YouTube channels that been peddling lies. They all get paid via AdSense. So all those videos they made lying and just making up rumors and gossip and stories, they all got rich. Ben Crump is getting rich. Al Sharpton getting paid. Everybody getting paid. TMZ getting paid. All these people getting paid off Nolan. And up to now, we still don't got no autopsy results showing what was the cause of death. Nothing. Just a bunch of lies. And they trying to drag this thing long as they can. The family increased their GoFundMe from $750,000 to $850,000 now. They want more money, guys. Stop sending money to that family. They're greedy.
But I'm so grateful to Christine and Elmore because they said whatever we can do, not only to help our son, but to help these other young black boys who was killed the July 4th holiday. And I want to take a moment before we end.
Got that ad right in time. Let this ad pass by, guys. Give me a minute. Okay.
Men, both 18 years old, who were killed in extraordinary ways that are very similar to Nolan. President Johnson, 18-year-old Daniel Irvins went on a fishing trip, out on a fishing boat with two other young men. He was the only black.
Do you see that? He said he was the only black. Every single time this race hustler, this grifter speaks, it always have race in it, guys. So let me get this straight. So if I'm black, I cannot go out and hang out with some white kids. I can't do that, right? Because I'm gonna die. That's what they're basically saying. So, and this has been the theme all over social media, guys. All over social media, I've seen black content creators telling their viewers, we need to not let our kids hang around white people because, white people, they're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. So basically, black people are saying they're afraid of white people now. That white people are the boogeyman. That's what they're doing. Why he's not talking about a Ken Liverpool? He's black, he died, and all his friends were black. Are we going to accuse his friends of killing him? Of course not. Right? So all the stories you hear Crump speaking on is going to all be rage bait, race hustling to get you upset with white people. That's what he's doing, guys. Listen.
It is alleged that he ended up accidentally drowning, but his two white friends got his cell phone and threw it away.
Do you see that? Remember, I talked about that, guys. I talked about that story. And I said that the two kids, they panicked. Remember, they didn't kill the kid. He drowned. That was an accident. But because they were swimming in an area they had no business being in, the two boys panicked. They were scared, and they tried to tamper with the evidence. And that is what got them in trouble. But black people are going around saying that the two white boys are the ones responsible for the black kid drowning when they were not. It was an accidental drowning.
Got his clothes and threw it away, and then went and deleted all of their text messages with him and social media. Sounds familiar?
Do you see that? Sounds familiar? Look at what Crump is doing, guys. He's saying, sounds familiar? Now, what is the significance of that, guys? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The mother of Nolan Wells basically was on a show. I actually did a show about it last night. The live stream that I did last night. Make sure you watch that. We did a show where we reacted to an interview of the Wonsley family where the mother claimed that Nolan's phone, his Snapchat or something along those lines, that it was deleted, right? Not that she got proof that something was deleted, but in her mind, she believed something was deleted. But there's no proof that it was. So because of her suspicions, they now turned it into a fact. And they're accusing Nolan's white friends of deleting things from his phone. That's why he twisted it with the previous story of those other kids that were tampering with evidence. Do you see how sick this man is? And yet black people take him serious? I don't trust this man. He's a monster. He's lying through his teeth. That's why they call lawyers, because they're damn liars. That's why. A bunch of liars. Talking about, does that sound familiar?
And they've only been charged with tampering with evidence. And his mother is crying out that they should be charged with murder, because if they would lie about his cell...
How are they going to be charged with murder when they didn't murder the kid? They never murdered the kid. But do you see how wicked and sick this racist is? Because he's a racist. I don't care what nobody say. I'm just calling it straight. In my opinion, Ben Crump is a racist. He don't like white people. He don't. He don't like anybody. Anybody. If they're not black, he don't like them. How could you charge those kids for murder when they didn't murder the kid? You can't charge somebody for murder like that. No. Tampering with evidence? Okay. They panicked. Their kids, they made a bad decision. We're not discounting or minimizing what they did. They wrong. Deleting text, throwing things in the water, trying to act like they weren't there, that's not cool. But to say we need to charge them for the murder of the kid, that's sick. That is sick. Let's go.
Phone in his clothes and deleted messages, then they will lie about what really happened.
Now notice this idiot in the live chat. An idiot in the live chat says, you're being racist towards Filipinos. When have I been racist towards Filipinos? Explain that. You got 10 seconds to explain me being racist towards Filipinos. If you cannot explain that, I'm blocking you. So explain that. Explain that. I need you to explain that. You said you're being racist towards Filipinos. Explain yourself. I'm waiting. Explain yourself, because I am not racist towards nobody. That would be stupid. Because I'm a content creator. I would be losing viewership if I was like that. Notice the person is nowhere to be found, guys. Person still can't respond. Let me see. You keep saying he isn't black. He's not African American, dummy. He's not a so-called black man. He is Filipino. That's not being racist, dumbass. This is the problem. You can't even be honest, bro, without somebody calling you a racist. Imagine that, guys. I'm speaking facts. You said that I'm racist. You want me to call Nolan black because that makes you feel like he's a part of the black community. He is not an African American kid. He is Filipino. His mama Filipino. Do you understand that? That man that you see on the stage, that's not his father. He's the stepdaddy. So where his father is, nobody know, because his mama was out there in them streets. But nobody's talking about that. That's why Nolan don't got that man's last name. Put the puzzle together. How dare you call me racist because I'm speaking the truth? That's how sick you are. You cannot understand the truth. You hate people that speak the truth because you want us to kiss your ass. I'm not doing that. I'm going to speak the damn truth. I don't care how you feel. Talking all this mess. Where's the so-called Filipino community to come out in support for black Americans when blacks got problems in these streets? Where they at? Where they at? They're nowhere to be found when black Americans is going through all their problems. They're never there to march with you. But yet, when it comes to this particular situation, you want to call Nolan black. He's not. He might be he might have melanated skin, but he is not an African American. He's not. Do you understand that? That is a fact. Let's get back to the content. Hit the like button.
To Daniel Irvins. And then there's the matter, President Johnson, Christine Clark, of 18-year-old Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, on 4th of July, was at a house party.
Why is he talking about this, guys? Why is he talking about these other people? He's rage baiting you. Can't you see? Don't be an NPC, guys. Don't be an NPC. He's talking about all these other stories of other people dying and why? We don't need to hear all of that race hustling. That's what he's doing. He's rage baiting you.
About 10 other people. He was the only black person at the house. He somehow ends up shot in the head. Dead.
Guys, listen to me very carefully. I already did all the research. Nolan Wells' mama is 100% Filipino. I already made all the videos. Go watch the videos and educate yourself. Do you understand? A lot of people were saying, Christine's father, he's black. No, he's not. He looked like he's a so-called black man. He looked like it because he have melanated skin. But what you don't know is that he is most likely Samoan or Filipino. Why? Because his mother is. His mother is. I provided all the photos and documentation, guys. And guess what? Here's another fun fact for you. Christine, father's father, is a white man. Do you understand, guys? So when we talking about these issues, we're focusing on lineage. Why? Because the media has painted that family as African American. When they talk about Christine, they don't call her a Filipino woman. They call her a black woman. That woman is not no black woman. She's Filipino, but they convince you that she's black. And that is why the black community sent all their money into their bank account. That's why I'm trying to make you focus on the facts. If you're Filipino, that's not no hate against you. Why would I do that? If you're Filipino, then it is what it is. But we're not going to have people lie. And you know what's so crazy? You got this cult group on social media call themselves FBA. How come they not doing this work? How come FBA is not calling out this family? How come they're not doing the work? I'm doing the work. Because FBAs are always calling me a tether. But yet the real tether is the mama of Nolan Wells. Because when it's convenient for her, she's acting like she's black. But the whole time, her son was hanging with white people the whole time. And I can guarantee you, she got a bunch of white friends. But because her son died and she can't accept the fact that it was an accident, now she want to play the race card. Now all of a sudden she hires a civil rights attorney. Why? Why would you hire a civil rights attorney for a Filipino? Make it make sense, guys. She's using the plight of black people to benefit and enrich herself. And I'm calling it out. I don't care how nobody feel, man.
Some of the friends get rid of the gun. The police show up. They tell the police it was an accident. It was an accidental shooting, that they were playing Russian roulette. And Tyler Smith ended up getting killed. And
why is he talking about this, guys, if the subject is Nolan Wells? When I tell you, this guy is responsible for creating more hate than you could imagine. Do you understand me? This man is responsible for dividing black and whites, making us fight all day. I'm one of the only YouTubers, guys, that actually speaks truth. And everything that I do, guy, I'm not partial in judgment. I'm impartial. When I speak with balance. If those kids were guilty, guys, I would be talking about that. But they're not. Nolan's friends were his friends. Just because they're white doesn't mean they're criminals. You understand that? They were his buddies. He grew up with them, guys, in the sandbox. He went to school with them, played football. But no, they made it a race issue. And shame on the mama, because she know those are Nolan's friends and she know that they would not hurt him. But because she's unhappy, I don't even think she loved her son, gang. I don't think she even loved Nolan because she never cried, guys, not one bit. How many of you lost a mom or lost a brother and you cried a river? I didn't see this woman shed not one tear yet for her son.
Apparently, Christine Clark, President Johnson, the police just took their word for it. His mother and grandmother are incensed. They asked the police, did you do a gunshot residue test on his hands? And the reason they said they had to call us, like Daniel Irvin's and Nolan Wells' family, because the police told them, President Johnson, that...
Notice, nothing he's saying, guys, have anything to do with the case. He's using this platform to rage bait black people. This is why when I do my content, guys, I'm trying to do my content so that you folks don't fall into the trap that they put black people in, man. They putting you under spells, man. This whole thing is witchcraft, what he's doing, bro. Like literally, I can see it, guys. You got to understand. They're putting you to sleep so that you could be angry all day, just angry with white people. Guys, when I tell you, there are so many YouTubers that are making videos spreading hate in order to make money. I'm watching YouTubers saying some of the most vile things. Oh, we need to let our children not hang around these people, these whitey people. It's disgusting, man. Because you folks are the same ones who cry that you're being discriminated against and white people are racist and white supremacists, but you're doing the thing that you hate. You're doing it to them. The very thing that you hate, you're doing it. And you're in denial. Talking about, oh, black people can't be racist. Yes, you can. What are you talking about? Anybody can be a racist. Anybody can. You got racists in all groups. All groups have their own bad apples. But with what's going on with this case with Nolan Wells, they're using it to divide people. And they started it off with Carmelo Anthony. They started it off with Carmelo Anthony in order to cause a race war. Carmelo is guilty as heck. Guilty. Murdered another kid. And the black community was siding with a killer, saying, oh, he defended himself. Guys, he stabbed the kid in the heart. In the heart, he killed him. You can't come back from that, guys. But no, because Carmelo was black, the black community sided with him. And look what happened. You guys gave that family $700,000, and Carmelo still went to prison for 35 years. You wasted your money. And now you gave this family $800,000. And guess what? The autopsy that they gave you is garbage. Nothing. We waited and finally got the autopsy, and there's nothing in the report. Nothing. A total waste of time, guys.
There was no need to do gunshot residue on his hands or any of the other people in the house, because I don't understand this logic, but they said if they were playing Russian roulette, then all of them would have gunshot residue on their hands. So we don't need to do gunshot residue tests. It makes no sense whatsoever. So they are taking the word of these 10 people that your son just killed himself. And you don't have to worry about doing any investigation or testing forensically anything. Just take our word for it. Now, can you imagine in any 3 of these scenarios, had the survivors been young black men and they were with a young white man and he ended up dead, what kind of investigation would that have been? What kind of interrogation?
Do you see the rage bait, guys? This is called rage bait. We supposed to be talking about Nolan Wells. He's talking about something else. Do you see this, guys? That's rage bait. It's just designed to get black people angry. As a black man, black woman, you gotta stop letting these grifters rage bait you. That's how they stay in business. That's how they make money. Your local pastor in the church is a grifter. He rage bait you, keeping you asleep. These so-called attorneys, I don't trust none of these civil rights so-called people. None. They're all grifters. All of them. Their job is to keep black people down. I don't trust them. I never trusted Al Sharpton. Never. I don't trust these people because with all of these so-called black leaders, nothing improves in the black community. Nothing. It's still crime infested, drugs and gangs, and none of these people are doing nothing about it. But yet they're getting all this money from Colin Kaepernick, from Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry never give you $1 to develop anything in the black community to improve black people. Nothing. All these billions of dollars. Have Tyler Perry done anything in the black community? Nothing. Nothing. But when it's ready and convenient, because he probably got a movie coming out, let me pay for the funeral of Nolan Wells so that everybody could pat him on the back and be like, oh, Tyler, you're such a good guy. I can't believe you paid for the funeral. I'm going to support all your movies and all your films. That's all he did that for, guys. It's all for show. It's all for show. We didn't have to know he paid for it. With all the success he got, we didn't have to know he paid for it. He could have did that anonymously for the family. Colin Kaepernick could have did what he did anonymously for the family. You understand? What's the other guy? Byron Allen donated $100,000 to the GoFundMe. He could have did that anonymously. Why they want people to know they did this? Because it's all clout chase. It's all for clicks and views. It's all so the world could pat them on the back like they did a good deed. I can't stand people that literally want to give something to somebody and want the whole world to know what they did. Do it in secret. That's how you know it came from the heart.
Would they have been? Would they have ever been able to see the light of day until those questions were answered? Well, just like you would do a thorough investigation for your children, we want you to do a thorough investigation for our children. We don't want anything special. We just want equal justice. Equal justice. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Trevon to lead us in the final session.
We'll have a few questions. We have my colleagues on either side with microphones. Please announce your name and your media outlet if you have any questions. We're going to be quick because we have other programming going on in real time. We'll go here first.
We have other programming. That's what he said, guys. Remember I told you that you're being programmed by these people? They want it to be real quick. Nah, it's not supposed to be real quick. People got questions. Like, what the heck? What kind of autopsy results is this? We're looking for answers and you busy talking about we got questions, got to be quick.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Samantha Chapman, ABC7 Chicago. You just unveiled a comprehensive outline of the independent report. Can you summarize for our viewers? Because there's a lot to take in, a lot of information. So in summary, can you succinctly tell us what we can take away from this report? And also, if you can provide more details about the neck. Yep. I heard a lot of people behind me gasping when that detail was mentioned.
Yep. Let me try to be very comprehensive. As Dr. Roger.
Let me let this ad go by, guys. Give me a minute. Let's let this thing go by.
Of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about, Mr. Williams, if you can, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat when they received the body. And he wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to examine it if there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck. And he thinks that's significant to know at autopsy.
See, here's the problem with this, guys, because he didn't answer the question that the woman asked. Number one, you heard somebody in the background gasping when he talked about the throat not being there. So in their mind, you have to understand when people hear this, guys, in their mind, because they're not educated to understand all these terms and medical things, they're going to be thinking that somebody removed his throat and threw him in the water. That's what's going to register in their head. When they hear this type of stuff, if it's not explained properly, people are going to go on YouTube and say the autopsy was in. Nolan was missing his throat. I can't believe it. They took his throat out and they put him in the water. That's what they're going to say on YouTube now because people are not explaining this stuff properly. Let's go.
The reason he said he would hold it back when he was medical examiner because he thought that there may have been some issues with neck fractures. The last thing that is significant is what we said before about him, the condition of his body.
Guys, notice everybody's hands. Guys, you can't see the Masonic hand signs on all these gentlemen. Look at the guy with the blue suit. Look at his hands. He's doing the pyramid thing, guys. Look at the guy behind him. He's doing it too. Y'all can't see that this is Masonic? Is Nolan Wells' mother and father Freemasons? Because I believe they are. I really do believe they are, guys. And I'm always right when I break down these cases. I've break down many cases. This is dark. Dark. Let's go.
When he went into the water, was he conscious or unconscious? Was he forced or unforced into the water? He said those things are very significant. But he started off talking about this red discoloration in the back of his head is something that was of great concern to him. Thank you.
He never answered the question. He never did, guys.
We'll go here.
Guys, he never answered the question. The woman is basically telling him to pretty much summarize everything and make it make sense. Make it make sense for the viewers. He never did. He confused you even more because he himself don't even understand what he read. He don't understand. You need the medical examiner up there, guys, so that he could explain these terms. Just like when you at the hospital and the doctor come out, when doctors are talking with the nurses, they talk their medical language. But when they talk to the patient, they got to break it down. They got to break it down in layman's terms so that you can understand. That's what the whole point is.
In Art with Chicago Speaks on V103, what specifically are you calling for from Mississippi authorities in terms of transparency, but more importantly, investigations?
I know President Johnson is from the state of Mississippi, and the Mississippi Conference president is here. They're calling, as we are, for a fair, impartial, comprehensive investigation. When Nolan's parents heard the sheriff say there's no foul play at the beginning of the investigation, that is cause for concern.
That's not cause for concern. That's not cause for concern. If I'm law enforcement and I have my training, right? Because law enforcement are trained. So they're able to see things and understand things, right? So if his opinion of the circumstances, there doesn't appear to be any foul play, there's nothing to be concerned with that. We know there got to be an investigation and all of that, but he's entitled to say that there's no foul play. But he made it a race issue after that statement. That's crazy.
Major concern. You haven't even investigated, but you're saying no foul play.
What are you talking about? He's law enforcement. He's going to investigate. When you're at the scene, you're investigating, you're looking at what's going on. They had the body, you know. They could look at the circumstances and be like, there's no foul play here. Especially if you've seen these things before. Look, Nolan is not the only one that ever drowned. And I'm sure he's not the only one that drowned at that so-called island. So law enforcement most likely saw this type of stuff many times. Police officers see all sorts of crazy stuff every day. So when you're accustomed to doing your job, you just know. You just know what you know. Let's go.
And so we want them to dot every I and cross every T. You know, we had a meeting with the district attorney, and we expressed to them about our lived experiences. The fact, and you know, they said that's not what happens in her office, but we said we believe if the roles were reversed and there were 3 young black 18-year-olds and there was a white 18-year-old who was with them, and he ended up dead, we don't believe that those young black men would not have been interrogated to the full extent of the law.
That's crazy. That's racist. Everything he's saying here is sick, guys. He's basically saying that, hey, if it was the other way around, these black teens would have been interrogated. Interrogated for what? They weren't there. You would have to prove that they were there. If that's the case, interrogate everybody that was there. Meaning, every boat that was at the island, let's interrogate everybody. Because you can't interrogate Nolan's friends if Nolan separated himself from his friends. You can't do that. You know? Neither could you tamper with their cell phones. Because I heard them talking about, oh, we need to get the cell phones of the other kids and we need to look through their phones. You can't do that. That's their property. They didn't commit no crime. You got to prove these things, guys. You just can't go off of assumptions and how you feel. That's not how it works. And even if it was the other way around, they still can't do nothing to the black guys if it was the other way around. You need proof. You know how many lawsuits would be filed? People would be sued like never before. Imagine a bunch of kids. Look, you had a situation that happened the other day. I got to do a story about it. Of a cop, a white cop. He pretty much they was looking for some teens. It was something with some teen. Y'all probably heard about the story. He grabbed one kid, broke his arm, guys. Trying to detain this kid, a child, somebody's child now. He was cussing at this little kid and broke his arm and he resigned. You know why? Because he effed up. And it wasn't even the kid they were looking for, guys. You know what kind of lawsuit is coming? That little kid is about to be rich because they broke his arm and the officer resigned. He resigned. Put a 1 if you heard that story. Put a 1 if you heard about that story. He broke the kid's arm and the officer resigned, and that wasn't even the teen that they were looking for. I'm going to talk about that story as well. Let's go.
We believe that it would not have been a choice whether they were going to cooperate with law enforcement if their lawyers and them were going to cooperate. No. They would have been held until they gave answers.
No, he's saying that. We don't know that. He's assuming that if somebody's black, right, that they would be held prisoners. That's wrong to say that, man. That's rage baiting. It's almost like, now think about this. No white person is saying that. Only he's saying that. Why do black people think like that? Well, if you're black, they're going to hold you and, No, that's not how it goes. Especially when you have a boat filled with friends and we all agree that this other guy, he stayed behind. Why am I being interrogated when he made a choice? That's like we went to the nightclub. I'm like, yo, I'm going home. I got work tomorrow, bro. Y'all coming? Because, hey, I'm driving y'all back. Nah, man, I'm going to stay back, man. I got this shorty, bro. We going to chill and drink. All right, cool. You stay behind. I'm out. And then you end up getting killed. And then now they want to prosecute me for your death. That makes sense? No, that don't make no sense. I went home. I got work tomorrow. You stayed back. You responsible for your own life.
They would have been held until they explained the cell phone in their possession. They would have been held until their cell phones have been examined. And so whatever you would do, had the roles been reversed, we want you to do the same thing for Nolan Wells.
We have time for one more question, and then we're going to have a prayer with our Religious Affairs Committee with the family. One more question here. My sister.
I'm Tiffany Walden with the Tribe in Chicago. I know that we're talking about a transparent investigation, but for families and people who are watching, can you kind of give a breakdown or a timeline to the best of your ability of the contact that you've had with Mississippi authorities or Ocean Springs authorities or the Cajun Navy? Have you all talked to them? Do they call you after the initial autopsy? Is it just radio silence from them? Do you have to call them? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
So the last time we actually spoke with local authorities, which would be the Sheriff's Department, was, I think, a day or two after his body was found. That was only initiated by me. I sent him a text message. I was like, hey, this is Christine, Nolan's mom. I just want to see if there are any updates. Basically, he called back. There were no updates. He's like, we're still interviewing. And again, my concern, and also my husband's concern, was it was not even an hour that his body had been removed. And the sheriff came out and said, this is, accidental drowning. We don't think there's foul play.
Why she's not telling you guys that on the very same day that Nolan's body was recovered, she started a GoFundMe asking for money. Why nobody's talking about that? I already showed this in videos, guys. The very same day that Nolan's body was taken out of the water, this woman started a GoFundMe collecting money. Who does that right away? Who does that? Because she had it all figured out. I'm going to play the race card. I'm going to get black people to support it. And I'm going to get rich. And that's exactly what happened. She got the attention of celebrities, and they all poured money into her pockets. I don't believe this woman cares about Nolan, fam. This is like all stage theatrics with her standing up there. That's all they do is stand around and make up stories. I don't trust her at all, man.
Again, that is why we're doing what we're doing and why we're moving the way we are. Because I sat there and asked them, please take this case as if this is your child.
Let me let this ad go by. Boy.
That straight out the gate, that's an issue. We did meet with the DA. She did promise, transparency and all of this, all of that. However, damage has already been done, because now that's the narrative that's being pushed by the general public, who, again, know nothing really, only what they're hearing.
Notice you have another crazy person in the live chat said that I'm making fun of a grieving mother. Does that look like a grieving mother? And when did I make fun of anyone? I'm not making fun of anyone. I said I don't trust this woman. That's not making fun of her. This woman is a criminal in my books, because she's robbing people of all their money. And you guys keep giving all your money when they didn't give you no autopsy results. You guys been waiting for an autopsy results all this time. And they finally present it, and there's nothing in there. So it creates more questions on what happened to Nolan. Can't they just tell you he drowned, guys? It's a simple accident. A freak accident. The kid drowned. He's dead. Let's move on. No, let's keep making it a race issue. We need somebody that's white to go to prison. That's what they're doing right now. And you got people accusing me falsely every single minute, talking about I'm making fun of somebody. I don't got no damn time to be making fun of somebody when it includes a death.
Other people. So in addition to that, it's all these things coming up. And at the end of the day, like I said before, any parent that would be in this situation, you would do anything to find out what happened to your child.
Do you see that? You would do anything. You see that? So what about the case of Ken Liverpool? Should their family do everything to find out what happened to their kid? Can we just accept that people die by freak accidents? Does it have to mean that somebody killed them because we're in Mississippi? People die every single day. So if you're on your job and your supervisor made you understand that you need to put on your proper PPE, you didn't wear it that day, you get electrocuted, you dead. Do we need to put on a whole investigation to find out who killed you? Maybe one of your coworkers killed you? No, you killed yourself when you decided not to wear your PPE. It's just that simple. When I was on a 9-to-5, PPE was on all the time. All the time. I didn't care. And I made sure all the other workers, anybody that worked with me, bro, put on your PPE, bro. Why, man? I don't feel like what? Put it on, bro. Put it on. Because you don't know which day it is going to be where you're supposed to die. But if you had on your PPE, you safe. You good to go. And I've been in many situations where I almost got electrocuted. There was chemicals in the air, meaning certain gases. And if I didn't have on my detector, this special detector that can read certain chemicals in the air, meaning your nose can't smell these gases, these fumes. But because I had my PPE and everything with me, I survived a bad situation that could have killed me.
And that is what we're here to do.
It is very important to note that.
And I got to review Officer Tatum's video because I heard that he interviewed some of the friends or something along them lines. So I got to check that out. I don't know if he kept the videos public or put them on members only. If it's on members only, then I'm not even wasting my time with it. But we'll talk about that later on. Let's get back to this.
This narrative, this suggestion that it was an accidental drowning, nothing to see here, is troubling even if that's the case. There were 300 to 400 people out on Horns Island. You mean to tell me nobody saw anything? Nobody can tell us anything about what happened to one of the few black people that were out there on that island that day?
Do you see how you keep on accusing people, fam? Nolan was 18. He's responsible for his own life, guys. Like somebody said in the live chat, it's not nobody else's job to drag you along. If you want to stay behind because you chasing some girl, that's your business, bro. If you turn up dead, that's not my fault, fam. That's not my fault. You know? You got to take inventory and responsibility for your own life, fam. He's literally accusing people. By him saying that about, oh, somebody had to see something. He's accusing somebody, guys. He's saying that somebody saw something, but they don't want to say nothing. You guys offered up $100,000. Nobody came forward. You know why? Because nobody don't know what happened to Nolan. Stop accusing people. Stop accusing his friends. Stop pouring out all these lies, trying to make it seem like somebody got the answer out there. Nobody's hiding nothing.
It just doesn't add up. The fact that they're saying Nolan said that he would stay behind, but yet an 18-year-old kid would not want his cell phone if he was going to stay behind. The fact that, you have...
See, an 18-year-old would not want his cell phone. They're basically implying that they kept Nolan's cell phone away from him. They're implying that somebody did something to him. You can't read between the lines. Are people dumb? You can't hear? You can't see? If the phone was on the boat, they're literally accusing anybody that was on that boat of taking Nolan's phone and unaliving him by saying, well, what 18-year-old is not going to want his phone? First of all, they're on an island. You're swimming. Why would you need your phone? There's no signal. There is no signal. So you can't call nobody. There's no signal. You know? And why do you need keys? You can't drive on an island. Do you understand? It ain't like the car is parked at the island. People got to wake up and stop being dumb. This man is not making no logical sense. It's proper protocol when you're on a boat and you're going to an island and you're in the water and you're swimming to leave your phone in a bucket on the boat. And that's what everybody did. But he's making it seem like, well, if Nolan was staying behind, he'll just take his keys and he'll do this and he'll do all of this other stuff. Listen, we don't know all the intricate details of if he did this and that. He could have forgot his phone. Haven't anybody thought about that? You know how many people's phones is on the boat? Everybody's phone is in a bucket. It ain't like, hey, bro, you forgot your phone. That's his responsibility to remember his phone. And you're blaming everybody else because he didn't take his phone.
The young lady saying that he said he was going to get back on the boat with the boys, and then the boys saying no. He said he was going to stay behind and talk to her. If that was the case, don't you believe Nolan would have said, give me my cell phone, I'm going to stay behind?
Not when you chasing pussy. Let's keep it real. Who needs a cell phone if you already with the girl? Who needs a cell phone if you chasing box? Who needs a cell phone? Forget the cell phone. I'm with the woman. Do you get the paper? Do you understand, guys? He's 18 years old. He's chasing skirts. He ain't thinking about no cell phone when you with the girl already. Crump don't know what he's talking about. He don't understand these kids today.
Give me my car keys, I'm gonna stay behind. It's not adding up. And so we're gonna keep fighting.
Give me my car keys, I'm gonna stay behind. The car is not parked on the island, dummy. Is this man crazy? What car keys? What are you talking about?
And digging until we get the answers, the transparency, the truth, the accountability, and justice for Nolan Wells.
Think about this dumb stuff, these people. That's why I normally have my chat on members only. Today's a special day, so I have it on subscriber mode. But guess what? This person says, Ringo doesn't understand. The male brain doesn't develop until age 25. I mean, think about how stupid you sound. It don't develop, but yet you have kids that graduate college before 25. But it don't develop. So everybody before 25 is stupid. Right? They could send you to a war at 19 years old. You could go into the military, right? So you can die. You can learn how to use a rifle. You can apply for your driver's license, but your brain is not developed. No, your brain is not developed, dummy. Let's get back to the content, man. This is crazy NPCs in my live chat.
Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells.
This is crazy. This is madness, guys. Everybody in there. Is this woman on her knees, bro? There's a woman sitting there on her knees. What the heck? Bro, what are they doing?
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. We're going to have our Religious Affairs Committee join us quickly so we can have a quick word of prayer with the family, and that will conclude our press conference formally.
This is bad, man. This is horrible.
Good morning. It's a good morning in spite of all that we have heard. It's a good morning because we're here for justice.
You don't notice that place empty, guys? Why them chairs is not filled in? Guys, why those chairs are not filled in? Why that place is so small? What this is, guys, is this a staged event? You would think with all the publicity of this case that you would see a house packed with family, friends of the family. Like, what is this? This place is empty. It looked like your local church. You know, like how most of these churches are empty now because people decided to stop going to church because they started listening to these pork chop eating pastors. That's how it looks right now in that place.
Reverend Wendell Anthony from the Detroit branch, and also a member of the National Board of Directors and a part of the Religious Affairs Committee, joined by colleagues who were here.
It could be a bunch of crisis actors, yeah. Paid actors, yep. The clapping, it could be one of them sound effects, sound effects of the clap. This is crazy, man.
I'm going to ask all of you if you would be so kind as to just link arms. Just link arms so that we can link ourselves around this particular moment and around this family. There's an old African proverb that says, those whom we love die only in the physical sense, but their spirit.
I've heard a lot of people mention that, and I'm not saying that it's a fact. I'm not saying that, but I heard a lot of people saying, even in my live chat and on the other videos, that what if Nolan is actually alive somewhere? And this whole thing is one big play, one big ritual. Because like I said, I'd never seen the mother cry yet for her son. No tears, nothing. We ain't even see his family, guys. Nolan don't got a family. The only ones we saw at that funeral is the mother and father. The stepdaddy, I mean. Where's the rest of the family? Normally at funerals, your family show up, guys, right? Your family shows up. Okay, where was their family? How come they didn't come up there to speak on behalf of Nolan? How come? How come, guys? How come? Don't make no sense, fam. None whatsoever. Let's go.
It continues to live on in the will and determination of those whom they leave behind. Mr. and Mrs. Wells, I did not know your son. But I could tell from just looking at his photograph, I can feel the aura.
Really? So you don't know her son, but you could look at a photograph and could feel this and that? Man, stop the cap. Stop the cap. That's like me looking at a photo of a woman on social media and be like, she look good. She could be my wife. You better stop doing that, guys. That could be the devil.
The joy that you talked about. We all can experience and feel that. Ben Crump has chronicled the list of pain moments in our community by the deceased and by those who are now martyrs.
What?
We have been dying.
Those who are now martyrs? Did y'all catch that? So Nolan is a martyr now? So that's what this is about. They made him a martyr, guys. This is crazy.
Since 1619.
Oh yeah, I can't stand when these preachers talk like that. It's you know, they don't talk with their wife like that when they getting it in. They do that crap when they're in the pulpit. They don't be in bed with their woman like, hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, man. Honey, I want to smack it. I want to flip it. I want to rub it down.
Baby, why you doing that? You're always talking dirty like that.
Baby, baby, baby! Let's turn to chapter 5 in the Bible. They don't talk like that when they with their wife, but they talk like that when they in the pulpit because they want your money.
Still seeking justice. Pray with me. O Lord, our Lord, how very excellent is thy name in all the earth. We are here for but one reason, to answer the question, what does the Lord require of us?
If the pastor know the Lord, why don't he just ask the Lord who killed Nolan? That's why I keep saying, man, a lot of the stuff that y'all hearing when you see these pastors, fam, it's BS, fam. It's BS. If these guys are so connected with God, right? How come God don't give us an autopsy? How come the prophets, how come they not getting it from the spirit? How come? How come, guys? We shouldn't be waiting for no autopsy. The pastor should tell us what happened, fam. The prophets. Matter of fact, where's Prophet Lovey, that so-called false prophet on YouTube? Prophet Lovey. Prophesy, prophesy. Pastor, I have a man. He's from London. He says that God healed him. Bring him forward. Bring him. Prophesy, prophesy. Bunch of damn lies. They ain't prophesying, they prophet-lying to get your money. Stop giving your money to these damn churches.
But to do justice, to love mercy, to even walk humbly with our God. Lord God, your people are here seeking justice. We're here for transparency. We're here for truth. You who are the way, the truth, and the life, we're here because of you. Lord God, how long must we continue to pay evil a toll at the gateway towards justice?
Imagine he's talking to God like this, guys. How long are we going to talk to evil and all this other mess? This is crazy. This is madness, fam. And you guys are still going to these churches?
How long must we see our children lie bleeding in the streets, in the sand, in the water, on the asphalt pavements of this nation?
Do you see? Even the pastors are racist. Even the pastor is racist, guys. I'm telling you what I'm telling you, fam. This is facts. Let's go.
That we built, even on July the 4th, a day that serves a lesson in
Every day.
Let me get this ad. Come on, come on. Oh.
are not independent from those who seek justice. Help us, Lord. Bless us right now. Bless this family. Cover this mother whose tears fall down her cheeks. Cover
That woman didn't shed no tears. That's a damn lie. Nolan's mom never shed a tear. I've never seen a tear. I watched all the videos. That woman haven't cried yet. No tears fell down. So that's a lie. The pastor's lying.
as he remembers his son, whom he taught and whom he mentored to play in life, but more importantly, to play the game the way it should be played in living. Lord God, we thank you so much. We've gone down the roads. They lied on Martin. They lied on Medgar. They lied on Malcolm. But more importantly, oh God, they lied on you. You who know about lies. We know that the truth shall eventually set us all free. Help us to get the truth, even in Mississippi, oh Lord. Help us to get the truth for our children. You know, like we know, there are more black boys in school than are in jail. We know, oh God.
Oh my goodness, man. They keep making this thing a race. Bro, I am tired of this mess, bro. Imagine going to a church hearing this garbage, bro. You know how depressing this mess is? Imagine just going to a church and all you hear is this Negro talking like this, bro. You'll be depressed. You'll be depressed. You'll be defeated in life, bro. Leave these damn houses of Satan, bro. For real. I can't stand that mess, bro.
That there are more of us who are striving for the benefit of life rather than the poison from living. Oh Lord, how long will justice continue to lift up her brow so that she can see who is standing before us, so she can make a decision that is not in our interest, but in the interest of those who seem to be different from us? Help us, Lord.
Obviously, your Lord is not helping you. You're crying in the damn place talking about, Lord, Lord, Lord. Lord, help us. You got black boys dying. You got us crying on the way. The Lord is not listening to your cry. You understand? Now I'm mocking you. Now I'm laughing. Because this is embarrassing that you got these pastors up in these churches talking like this to God, and God still didn't give no answers. Ladies and gentlemen of the court of public opinion, please understand, when you're listening to these false prophets talking about God and we're praying to God, they're not praying to God, they're praying to the devil. They're not praying to God. Why would God, in his infinite wisdom, why would God, who know the good and the bad, God that know the beginning and the end, why would God sit down and watch all this mess and still haven't revealed nothing to his prophets? Come on. Listen, this whole thing is staged, guys. It's staged. It is staged. None of it is real.
We as a people bleed like everybody else? Don't we as a people need comfort like everybody else? Don't we as a people need justice like everybody else? Don't we as a people feel the pain?
See, the real reason why God is not answering nothing in this is because these folks is wicked. They're wicked. You understand? That's why God ain't answering none of these prayers. Because everybody been praying and praying and praying. Ain't no answers come. You know why? Because this whole thing is wicked. For all we know, Nolan was blood sacrificed. Blood sacrifice, a whole Freemason ritual, gang. And they all are part of it. All of them. Even that damn pastor. Everybody. You don't know what they did to that kid.
When our children are taken from us like everybody else. Help America, Lord, because America has a problem. We don't have a problem.
He said America has a problem. We don't have a problem. So basically, he just made it a race issue. He's saying that black people don't got no problems, but the problem is the white man. That's basically what he just said, guys. That's basically what he just said. He's telling God that white America is the problem, but black people don't got no problem. And that's a damn lie, because in the black community is nothing but crime, violence, and drugs and gangs. So he's lying. And these pastors are never in the black community. Matter of fact, they move out the community. You understand? They're living in the white community. Most of these pastors that you see here talking all this crap, they live in the white community. That's where they live at. They don't live around black folk. All these mega church pastors, these black pastors that are rich, they live in the white community where it's safe. They don't want to be around Negroes. Let's go.
America has a problem. Fix the problem. In 250 years, we still seem to suffer from the same old problem. Fix America, oh God. Fix justice, oh
Why he's telling God to fix America? Fix yourself.
God. Fix us, oh God. Fix Mississippi, oh God. Fix those who are...
You can't fix something if it's not broken. So they're basically saying something is broken because they can't get the answers they want. Just let it go. Nolan is gone. Freak accident. He died. Stop accusing. Let's stop all this madness. Let's move on. But no, they want to continue to push racial issues so that people can continue fighting all day.
Standing at the gateway to break open the doors for justice. Not just us, but justice.
How could you have justice with no facts that something happened? You can't have justice if nothing happened. Listen, how did Nolan die? Up to now, nobody have an answer. All these experts, all this money, no answers, guys. No answers, but y'all emotionally invested in this Nolan case. But up to now, nobody don't know how this kid died. Nobody don't know. It's crazy.
Help us now, Lord. This is our prayer. This is our plea as we seek that which you have the power to give, and that is justice. The just shall live by their faith. The just shall live by their faith. And oh Lord, we know that when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Let's win in the name of justice. Let the people who love God, who are called according to his name for every good purpose, who believe in justice, say amen, amen, amen. Now give justice a hand praise. We praise God for justice. God bless you.
I tell you, man, we got to get rid of the boomers, man. We got to get rid of the boomers, man. They're the ones they're the problem. It's these damn boomers. They're the ones that are keeping black people down. Y'all in these damn churches talking about justice and justice like somebody died, bro. Like somebody killed somebody with no proof. We can't be crying justice just because somebody died. We got to prove what happened. The autopsy showed nothing. I can just imagine everybody streaming all over YouTube and there's no results. None. So nobody still don't know how Nolan died. All these days passed by. Nobody can't pinpoint and say, okay, he died because of this. They didn't even let us know about the water in the system. You know? Where's the first autopsy? That's what people going to want to hear about now. The first autopsy.
President Johnson, I want you to know, and those who are here, there are 12,000 people who are looking at this press conference on YouTube. That was 30 minutes ago. There were 14,000 people who were looking at it on the Roots. That was 30 minutes ago.
They busy worried about clicks and views. Are y'all hearing this, guys? They're tallying up how many people were viewing because they know their channels are monetized and they're going to get ad revenue. This is crazy, guys. Crazy.
Ben Crump, this ain't no secret. The nation is looking for justice.
Reverend gonna get a check. They're saying, we did it, man. We did it. Thank you, Pastor. We're gonna give you a check later on. We're gonna cut you a check.
For media who would like a digital copy of the report, you can look at bencrump.com, and we should have a digital copy there.
See how they're all smiling? You see the so-called stepdaddy there smiling? I tell you, these people are criminals, guys. You see him smiling? He's smiling because the money coming.
You can also contact Saks Media, which is on the press release.
Look at them smiling. They're like, we got the money. We good, man. We're going to continue to get paid. This is sick, man. No results, guys. No results at all, fam. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick, fam. There was more at the beginning when they were talking, like all up to these points, but I'll review that another time, I guess, because I don't want to go through it. I'll probably do another show where I could kind of, because they did like a press conference in the beginning where they were talking. I'll do that probably later on or whatever the case is. I wanted to get to the nitty gritty and get right to the point, right? But yeah, guys, this is crazy. You know, this is nuts, man. Nolan Wells' autopsy results reveal nothing. It reveals nothing, guys. This is crazy. We went through this whole thing, breaking it down. Ben Crump wasted our time, guys, with nothing. No results. And he knew, guys. Crump already knew that there was no results. He knew, but he wasted our time, making us believe and hope that, okay, we're going to finally learn the truth, you know? Because there's people that really want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. How did he die? Was he murdered? Did he drown? The autopsy should be able to just tell you this straight up and down. I want to hear I want the toxicology test. I want that. We want to know, was he drinking? Was he drunk? What was going on? Did he have drugs in the system? They taking too long, man. It's like they hiding the information, y'all. So we're going to get up on out of here, gang. If you're new to the platform, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my commentary, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button. You know, it is what it is. We're going to come back later on with more content, break down some more videos. Judge Mathis is a sellout. We're going to talk about that. I saw a video and I couldn't believe it. He said that he's good friends with Ben Crump. And I was like, oh, so you good friends with Ben Crump. All right, cool. All right. I got to review a video of him where he was talking about the Nolan Wells situation. So I'm going to talk about that and break that video down. Anybody that's a friend of Ben Crump is a snake and someone that you got to really keep your eye on, you know? It's real sick. but I'll talk about that later on. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, guys. It is what it is. Y'all have a blessed day. Wherever you are in the world. I'm glad I did this show early. I'm glad I did this early, because I was literally going to get me some rest. And I said, you know what? Let me check to see if the autopsy results is in, you know? And lo and behold, I saw they went live like probably 20 minutes before I went live. So I was like, oh, I caught it right on time. Right on time. So we're going to get up on out of here, guys. Again, rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you would like to support my work, ladies and gentlemen, you can do so via Cash App. Cash App is pinned right there on the screen. If you want to support the show, do so via Cash App. We really appreciate your support. It helps to keep the lights on. So I'll be back later on with more content. If you appreciate the work, tell a friend about Ringo TV. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hype the video. Leave some comments in the comments section under the video, guys, and let us know what you think about the video. Did we do a good job? Did you enjoy the commentary? Did it help you through your morning day? You know, if you're on the road, did it get you through whatever you had to go through? Let us know, and we'll talk to you later on another stream, guys. So we're going to get up on out of here, fam. Ringo TV. Reactions. Yeah. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. The #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Y'all take care. Peace. We out of here.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100%